Today I'm reading from Path to Happiness, focusing on the word choice, which is one of the keywords for the word know, associated with strength. Choice. Identity becomes identified by exercising choice. Therefore, choice is the outer expression of selfhood. We choose what to do, what to say, what to eat, where to be and who to be with. An advanced person can even choose what to think and what to feel. We write our story upon life's blank pages as we make these choices, and then we observe and experience resultant consequences. Every single one of our choices adds to the story and leads to further options. Each contributes something to the life we are building, and none is without consequence. A choice is a very important event. It is implied that when we choose one option, we thereby deny the possibility in that moment of choosing any other. The only thing unavailable in a world of free will is choicelessness. Choice is an imperative, and in fact a moment-by-moment constant of life. Suffering the penalty for not exercising choice is itself a choice. The choice to surrender to another's will or the status quo. Surrender may well be the best option, yet if there is to be happiness, it needs to be chosen consciously and not imposed. The freedom to choose needs to be used fully if we are to optimize life's circumstances. The potential to choose is undeniable, but the range of options diminishes through a kind of entropy unless we exercise this freedom. Freedom is like money in the pocket. It only has conceptual value until it is spent. Opportunities flow abundantly through our lives, like rivers that have a past and a future. However, they are available for only a short time, and the grasping of them requires vitality. Timing has special importance in this too. A fruit picked early or late usually brings disappointment. It is a tricky balancing skill to have both the patience and trust to allow for ripening, and also the enthusiasm and assertiveness to pick it before its magnificence fades. Occasionally on reflection we may come to recognize that we are making certain choices regularly, despite the fact that the consequences are suboptimal. We may wake up each and every Sunday morning wishing we had chosen to have one less drink last night, yet Saturday comes around and we do the exact same thing again. That's not something an amoeba would do. Or the more serious long-term version might be getting caught up with lovers who have sex appeal but no conversation. It's too late the morning after, whether the hangover or the unsuitable lover. Since temptation takes so many forms and disguises, we would assuredly benefit from having a predetermined set of policies and create the practices of life out of them. These policies contribute in a major way to the form of our identity. Having them does not have to limit the freedom to be appropriately spontaneous. It just makes it easier to be who we choose to be if we have a clear sense of our default behavior, those things we choose in the absence of overriding factors. The range of choice is unlimited in one sense, in that our options are without number. Yet in another sense we can add structure to the limit and compass of choices available in order to make them more comprehensible and less overwhelming. Esoteric wisdom offers some guidelines. 4 basic elements are observed as fire, earth, air, and water. We can opt to be more dynamic, more practical, more philosophical, or more empathic, for example. 3 basic attitudes also exist: initiating, stabilizing, or adaptable. We can opt to be more inventive, more fixed, or more accommodating. These 2 patterns combine into a rainbow of personality types, from someone who is frequently the person who originates dynamic new initiatives, through to the one who can normally quite readily empathize and accommodate another's way of being, and rarely starts anything. In practice we access any and all of these modes of being, yet almost certainly have tendencies to be a certain way, given certain situations. It is helpful to expand our experience by occasionally choosing differently. 2 aspects contribute to our choice-making. One is mental, where we have thought things through to a point where we have principles and policies and a formulated philosophy of sorts. The other is rooted in the physical body. We have a vast and meaningful compendium of knowledge stored inside us, and it steers us true if only we remember to access it. We access it by simple yet subtle observation. Many signs exist to tell us what is good and what is not a good thing. Gut feeling is but one. The body has ancient memories coded in it, and these need not be left dormant. They are awakened to the extent that we use them and trust them. Typically, they are felt as excitement or tension in some particular area. Similarly, words can slip into the mouth and announce evidence of unconscious truths, the Freudian slip, for example. They speak volumes, but only if we are listening to them and we hear the message that they give us. It is surely trite to observe that life is an abundantly rich experience, and yet that is not how many people see it in practice. It is more typical to meet a person who is disgruntled with their job, frustrated with their children, bored or worse with their partner, and rarely able to fend off depression with drugs and television. This suggests a history of poor choices. Vitality expresses itself through enthusiasm and spontaneity. It is underwritten by confidence and self-love. And surely our primary imperative is vitality. Being alive requires that we make choices, and the absence of this is lifelessness. So to ask the question, why is my life so dispiriting, begs the answer, because you made a series of choices that betrayed your authenticity. Then the question becomes, what can I do? And the answer is self-evident. Choose differently, now, and from now on, always. How do I know what to choose? Well, consult your body feelings and your principles. If one choice doesn't work, then make another and another, until happiness is your normal everyday state of being. It is not a privilege, it is not only a right, it is a duty to live in happiness. One last thought about choice: it does not always have to be backed up with action. This is a subtle and a secret known to mystics. One can make a choice inwardly. Certain processes of mind can be learned and practiced that promote successful resolutions to issues without external engagement with circumstances. In simple terms, this is the orientation of attention stubbornly in the direction of optimism. Expectation of good fortune is what attracts good fortune. We must discipline our feelings so that we do not exult in failure or the acceptance of disappointment. Self-pity is the rotting of mind and must be avoided at all costs. We want our choices to demonstrate wisdom, and we want them to be guided towards wisdom, so that even though we're making spontaneous choices, we're making them on the basis of experience and teachings and so on. And the practice for this is Ya Hadi, Ya Hakim. Hadi, divine guidance. Hakim, divine wisdom. Ya Hadi, Ya Hakim. 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 Amen.